You are looking live at the historic Halifax Forum, the official at center ice. And as you see the white jerseys over there, they belong to the West Hants Warriors, the Nova Scotia Mainland Hockey League champions. And they had a perfect record in the regular season of 23-0-1 in the black jerseys, representing the Central Minor Hockey Federation. Also went undefeated in the regular season, 26-0-2, the TASA Ducks. So on paper, this has main event status written all over it. The building was loud to start things off. The TASA Duck fan base are here, and the heavy Warrior fan base as well. As we say, good afternoon and welcome to the Halifax Forum. My name is Dan Hobson. Nathan Mills, the starting goaltender for the TASA Ducks. Chase Kroll there for the West Hants Warriors as we are just in the first minute of this one. Here comes Phillips now. Scott scores! Phillips, a wrist shot from the face-off circle. And that didn't take too long. 1-0. 42 seconds. 1-0. Of course, these teams are in separate leagues, but they do have a history to tell here this season. They met back at the Buster Harvey tournament back in November. It was the TASA Ducks walking away with a 4-3 victory. Phillips, who you just saw score, he got a goal in that one, as well as O'Brien, Burke, and O'Coin, the goal scorers in that one. And Shields had 2 goals and 1 assist. And for those TASA Duck fans that are maybe tuning in here for the first time, when we talk about William Shields, he is a triple threat that the Ducks are going to have to contain, even though Shields had a quiet first 2 periods against the Pictou County Crushers in their win last night. He woke up and he carried this team to victory in the 3rd period. As he had the tying goal and the go-ahead goal in the 3rd period. Manders on the power play, and then Shields with 2 goals to carry him to the victory. And Shields' last goal came as a result of an empty net as Pictou was pulling out all the stops there, trying to get 2 points and try to help themselves get into the playoff contention. They've now been eliminated, as well as the Sydney Steelers and the Halifax Hawks. So everybody is, we pretty well know who the 4 teams are. West Hants Warriors are one of those 4 teams, the Ducks as well, the Blues and the Miners. And we're just waiting for the final games of round robin to come to an end before we determine who's 1 and who is 4. And, of course, 2 and 3. If you follow me on Twitter at DanHobson12, as I said, a win here by the Ducks, and they will clinch first place. So that makes that game between Sydney and Bedford. It still means something for Bedford, but it will be more in terms of standings and seedings. Whether they finish 2nd or to 4th is what that will determine for them, as first place will not be in their dreams for that one if the Ducks win here. West Hants Warriors, of course, they had a tie against the Hawks, and one of the things that, of course, that they were sort of having a little bit of difficulty staying out of the box, but now they've given up an early goal, so we'll see. Maybe that may change their style a bit here in this one. So Phillips with the goal, making it 1-0 at the 42-second mark. And Kroll's a little bit busier here. The one goaltender on the team makes that stop. West Hants Warriors had some penalty trouble in their game against Pictou, and they stayed out of the box in the 3rd period. And Manders, as I said, with Shields getting the last 2 goals of the game, they got their 3 goals in that 3rd period to come away with the victory. Things were starting to look very bleak for them to be in the playoff picture after starting the day in first place. The Ducks, thanks to their 15-0 win over Sydney Steelers, moved them up. There's Fuller with the shot, and a stop there by Kroll. So that is really an important game here for TASA. And the thing is that they know that it's going to be Bedford, Glace Bay, and these Warriors that they play. So these teams could face off again tomorrow morning. So this is where you also got to be tricky, as you know that it's going to be important there for, of course, the Ducks to get the 2 points. But, of course, the Warriors, they need to come away with a win there. If they do lose, it's a good possibility they will face them. So that's what's up for grabs. And both these teams, as I mentioned off the top, undefeated. But the Ducks carrying the play early here. Back comes Tanea Sparks for the Warriors now. Has Leopold with it, set up there as they got the path to Matthew Shields, but he has his stick chick before he can get the shot. And here come the Ducks. Quick transition offense led by team captain Kennedy. Fuller with him as well as O'Brien. And here's our first penalty of the afternoon. It will be body contact, and this looks like a continuation of yesterday here for West Hants, but of course we've been interactive on Twitter and talking to folks, and we'll say hello to Greg Esty. Of course, his son played goaltender in the same league that these West Hants Warriors play in. Played for the Acadia PeeWee AAA. We saw Acadia PeeWee AAA a couple years ago in Trenton. Pat McLeod, the longtime baseball player for the Kentville Wildcats, son played on that team, and they didn't have a great showing at those championships, but boy, they were you can see it at the families, the players, of course, sons and daughters, the players, mothers and fathers, they all ended up becoming one big close family, so we want to say hello to the Acadia PeeWee AAAs, maybe watching back home in beautiful Wolfville, Nova Scotia on 360 Live. Here's a power play brought to you by Atlantic Acura. The first one of the game. It's body contact. Shot there as a howitzer by Prince. A minute 7 remains here in the penalty there to the West Hants Warriors. Greg Esty was giving me some inside information that, you know, that this West Hants Warriors team, they play with a little chip on their shoulder. So it seems to work for them. As I said, in the regular season, a perfect record of 23-0-1. With these championships, they escaped jaws of defeat thanks to a third period effort against Pictou yesterday and a tie to the Hawks. So based on that, this is one of their first tests of the championship so far. So this was definitely their toughest matchup here, and right now it is tilted one side here for them. Carney now, wrist shot, 23 seconds remain in the Atlantic Acura power play here for the Ducks. Can McPhee get there to hold the line? Yes, he can. Rousel up there trying to get that puck out, and does. He just puts on his hard hat and lunch pail, and now he'll go off for a change, and the Ducks will regroup near center ice. Halliday, whose father, Pete Halliday, is the manager, as you hear the puck-banding song play here in the background, indicating that the power play is over. Finish my point there, and Pete Halliday is the manager of this team, and he works for Enterprise Rent-A-Car here in the area, and him and I used to work for the same company years and years and years ago. He told me the other day he still works there. Here's our hooking call, and this is almost getting to be deja vu all over again here for the West Hants Warriors, as Manders will go off for the hook. This is playing with fire, and Greg Riley did a great job of addressing this after the intermission, but, you know, it's the back-to-backs, and this was the case yesterday. That was a bad pass there by McPhee, so Halliday would go back to his own zone. So it's funny, you know, that's great. This sport, you'll see people that you haven't seen in years. All of a sudden, you get to reconnect with them, and once I saw that Pete Halliday's name was on the roster, I said, yeah, I know who that guy is. Fantastic person. Of course, his wife Sarah's following me on Twitter now, so say hello to her. Pete's wife. Maybe here in the crowd watching or maybe watching back home. So as I said, it's another Atlantic Acura power play. Phillips now, he's got the lone goal. Came at the 42-second mark, and there he goes after it. Minute 5 remaining in the Manders hooking penalty. And that gets by everybody and goes down, and that will give some fresh legs out there. And I'm telling you, earning her rewards here is number 12 here for the West Hants Warriors, Tanea Sparks, out there in the penalty killing role, and she has been busy, to say the least. And she goes off for a much needed change. Phillips again scores through the hole, and Chase Kroll shrugging the shoulders. Power play goal, 2-0. .725 the time. So we haven't even hit the halfway point, and the Ducks are up by 2. They have been the talk here of the championship so far. These Ducks, 27 goals for, 3 against, coming into today's game as they get closer and closer to clinching that first place spot in the round robin portion of the championships. The West Hants Warriors. Penalty troubles again. The thing is, you go to the box, sometimes you're going to get burned, and especially there's elite offense. There's lots of players out here. Fuller, Kennedy, we've seen Phillips. Dangerous players here, so they've got to really find the discipline. Bouncing puck, Fuller on the backhand there, gets a shot, and Kroll gets a little piece of it. Here comes Hood and the rest of the Warriors as he goes in for the chip in. Rousel trying to go in, and play is blown down. They'll bring it back outside. They've iced the puck as they shot it from their own side of center. Teams make changes here. As I said, past the halfway point, 6:53 to be precise, remaining here in period number 1. Clean face-off win there for the Warriors, but Kroll will just come out and smother it there for the stoppage and play. Phillips at 42 seconds, and at 7:25 on the power play, have the Ducks leading 2-0 here at the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Championships. The second to last round robin game. And after this, we'll have the skills competition. That should be a delight and fun. Skills competition brought to you by RCS Construction. Davison hoping to get something going here for the Warriors. There is, of course, in there, number 9, William Shields. As I say, he's 3D. He's got triple threat all over him. He has a little bit of size, as you can see. And he's got a howitzer of a shot. And, of course, Mr. Esty, who we've talked about, says that his son plays goal there for Arcadia. Has the proof to show that he can shoot that puck real hard. And speed as well. Here's Kroll trying to get a shot. Anymore curls it in towards the corner away from enemy territory. Centering pass picked off by the Ducks. Kroll picks the pocket. With one hand on the stick, puts it out front. Picked off there by Phillips. Phillips with a little hook, but that's A-okay. Here comes Rivera. Had 2 goals in one of their games yesterday. And firing a shot there was O'Coin, and it's stopped by Kroll. It's a term that they use in basketball a lot. Of course, the word transition, but all of a sudden, like, the Ducks get the puck, and it's just 1-2. They're on the attack, just like that, and in the attacking zone. They could just go from really defense to offense, you know, as quick as a Don Henley New York minute. And they have been cooking with gas all season long, and as I said, we talked about the Buster Harvey tournament. They actually won that tournament, so As I said, these teams faced each other at that time. There is a shot there by Sparks, and that's stopped by Mills. Mills, maybe that might be his first touch of the puck here in this game. I don't remember calling his name too much. And he gets another touch. Giswald there, that misses the net. Can Maccaber keep the lid in for the West Warriors? No, he can't. And now it's a numbers game. As Penny trying to go through, and McCullum Messam gets in the way. He's going to be called for interference. Is it going to be body contact? Not quite, but it's a hooking call nonetheless. Three straight penalties here. It's actually Giswald that gets it, so it was out of away from the play, but it's Giswald that goes for the hook. Atlantic Acura power play once again, number 3. So far, they're 1 for 2. Ducks getting organized now. That 4-man box there for the Warriors. Phillips there looking for number 3. I'm not sure he's trying to send it towards the net for the deflection there for Fuller or not. Kennedy, that doesn't get through. Kennedy, another one, hits the skate there. A couple of whacks there by Phillips and Fuller, and Kroll covers up. And there's a little bit of post-whistle activity. But everybody skates away. A minute 32 remaining in the power play here for the TASA Ducks. Giswald off for a hook. Phillips, wrist shot as Hood gets in the way of that. And Hood, with great awareness, flipped it high and down, and now he'll go in after it. Hood gives his man a little bit of a slight bump. Ducks don't care. Kennedy coming out to center ice. Kennedy going wide. Stops. Looks for help. Has it again as he drives towards the middle and tries to get a shot there set up for a deflection. Goes towards the corner. Phillips and Kennedy, they've had a lot of touches with the puck here this first period. And Kearney there, stopped there by Kroll on the one-timer. Hesitated just for a split millisecond, and Kroll had time to get over. Bouncing puck goes through the blue ice and back. 44 seconds remaining in the penalty. 3:26 remaining here in the period. Phillips has to go back into center ice area, gather up the biscuit, and here he goes. Left it for O'Brien. Fuller now sends it down low, just outside the face-off circle. Now towards the corner, but Warriors will get it and send it down with 20 seconds remaining here, so last chance for romance on the Atlantic Acura power play here for the TASA Ducks, leading by 2. McPhee, O'Coin now gets in. Penalty 2. Giswald is over. He goes off. Team captain William Shields comes on. Trying to do the wraparound there was O'Coin. Kroll's lost his helmet, and play went on for like 5 to 7 seconds. Afterwards, get a first look there at Chase Kroll, goaltender. But he just kept on playing too, and that's what you really got to do. Don't stop, because of course, you know, as soon as the helmet goes off, the whistle should blow, but it took about an extra 4 seconds, so luckily he doesn't get a puck in the head. So, no harm, no foul. Play continues on here. Power play over, even strength right now. 2:18 remaining here in the opening period. And so far, Phillips with both goals. Rivera, they said nice setup, the one-timer there for O'Coin. It's out of his reach. Davison and Shields, they cross. Davison just keeps on going, plows over Prince. Get in my way, I don't care, I'm going to keep going, but he lost the puck, and here's a 2-on-2 developing the other way. William Shields doing it both in as he gets back to stop that out just for a brief New York minute. O'Coin with a wrist shot that sails high. Davison now with Shields. Davison just not stopping. He don't care. He's just going to keep on plowing through. Not an easy shift for him as he goes off. Now for Greg Riley, do you switch things up and maybe double shift? Team captain William Shields a lot here to try to get a goal here in the late stages of the first. Down by 2, they've really are in a hole because the Ducks have been fantastic, not only offensively but defensively as well. The best goals against here in the tourney. That's why they're in first place. Coming into this one, the TASA Ducks only gave up 3 goals and have scored 27. So here we are, final minute of play here in the first period. Ducks pressing again. Penny with the puck. Halliday has to retreat. He's going to have to get on his horse as Giswald gets by him. Giswald will dump it in and go in after it. There's a sharp angle shot that's stopped by Mills. Giswald turning on the Jets, and he was picking them up and putting them down. Halliday was caught flat-footed, and it results in a good scoring chance on a foot race. As you can see, that Magnus Giswald, number 19, he's got some speed here. So it's not just a, one-trick pony here for the West Hants Warriors, because Manders is good as well as McCullum Messam. And as you saw, Giswald there has some speed too as we have play stopped once again. We have 27 seconds remaining here in period number 1. Oh, there's a nice long leap pass up ahead here to Kennedy now, and he turns on the Jets late here in this first period. Centering pass, nobody there. O'Brien following up, and we have a penalty coming up. Could this be the first penalty going against the TASA Ducks? It looks like it will be Fuller, and I imagine the West Hants Warriors fans are going to have something to say, maybe a Bronx cheer this time, as Fuller will go to the box for interference. Well, the West Hants Warriors will get their first Atlantic Acura power play of the afternoon with just 12 ticks till the end of the first period. Specialty teams of when the Warriors have been dangerous, they've have scored shorthanded, but you get that William Shields out there, and he plays pretty well a good majority of that power play. As this period comes to an end, they'll have a minute and 48 to carry over into the second period. Goals by Phillips, 42 seconds and 7:25 have the Ducks leading 1-0 over the Warriors. And we'll be back with second period coverage right after this here on 360 Live. And now, of course, I think we had a little bit of audio difficulties. We have those fixed, but I just wanted to say a big thank you here to Kit Gooby. He reached out to me on Twitter, and I just want to retract something I said yesterday. I said about the Cole Harbour Wolfpack defeating the Steel Subarus. It was the Halifax Backs, and the Halifax Backs will play the Cole Harbour Wolfpack, as I saw in a tweet last night. So I just want to retract that, and we're finally underway here in period number 2 here from the Halifax Forum. And once again, folks, if you want to, find out what's going on here at the championships, you, of course, can follow Hockey Nova Scotia as well as the Halifax Hawks website. But I'm also giving updates as well on social media at Dan Hobson 12. So here we are, period number 2, 2-0 the score between the TASA Ducks and the West Hants Warriors. And penalties were the problem here, but right now it is the first Atlantic Acura power play here for the West Hants Warriors, and so far it's very powerless to say as they go back down the ice once more. 54 seconds remaining in the interference penalty to Fuller. And this is where you got to be aware of the long change here for the Ducks. Actually, the West Hants Warriors will have the long change. My apologies. The benches are pretty well even, Steven. Of course, it's a different arena. Whoa, there's a bad bounce, but the Warriors' Manders gets back and sends it out of harm's way. Kroll looking a little bit shaky here, but he has been sort of hounded there because these Ducks have taken it to him and really haven't given him room to breathe. Sparks up here trying to get something going on the power play and unable to handle the hot pass, and down goes the puck into their own zone. So power play winding down here. A steal there by Rivera and a shot on goal. A stop and a tap in by O'Coin. Scores. It's 3-0. The shot by Rivera. Kroll got some, but O'Coin saw it in the blue ice, and he taps it in. 1:50 here of the second period. At the dying stages there, so I believe that, of course, the penalty had expired, so it's just an even strength goal, but the player was not out of the box in time really to be really much of a factor on the play, so it's unofficially a shorthanded goal, but it really was. Rivera getting the assist as he got the shot there, and O'Coin with the easy tip in. As I said earlier, these teams met at the Buster Harvey tournament. It was 4-3, a close game. This one, Shields and company, the Warriors, have their work cut out. They're trailing by 3 here early in the second period. Ava Scherer up there looking for a loose puck there for the Warriors. Now she'll send it down in the corner. Here's Bush. I want to call her Sophie Bush, but, she was an actor there for One Tree Hill way back when. It's actually Sarah Bush, but it's just on the tip of my tongue to say that. Back out center ice. Here's Judge, Prince, Fuller. Fuller with Kennedy and O'Brien here as they get something going. There's a shot and then gets a piece of Kroll and then off the back of the net. It goes in behind the goal. They're being asked to move it there by the official, but they're not cooperating with the referee's plans. And he'll blow play down here. 11:28 remaining here in period number 2. Coming up at 2 o'clock here this afternoon here on 360 Live, we have the RCS Construction Skills Competition. And if you are a follower of the PeeWee Blues, they actually put out their players that are participating in that. Albert will be their goaltender, so that will be a good matchup, Albert versus Shields. I imagine you'll see that probably happening. Skills competition, 2 o'clock, right here on 360 Live from the Halifax Forum. But we still have business to take care of here in this one. 3-0, Ducks leading the Warriors. A win by the Ducks. They'll get first place after the round-robin portion. Porter Kroll now looking for some help. Davison going towards the net. William Shields now trying to get away from Fuller and does. Kroll puts a saucer pass towards the middle. Manders pinches in to keep it alive there for the Warriors. Shields now trying to get away. He's got some speed and some size, but Kennedy wins that. There's some body contact by Manders. He comes in. Manders lowers the boom on Kennedy, and body contact or not a bad play at that time because Kennedy was off to the races. They're caught for holding there. You had basically 3 choices you could have called there. Interference, body contact, and it ends up being the hold there on Manders there to Kennedy. Greg Riley now having a conversation with the official here at their bench. He doesn't think that that's a holding a stick penalty. This power play brought to you by Atlantic Acura. 1 power play goal so far. This is their power play number 4 for them. They're 1 for 3 so far. 2 shots and 1 goal. Boy, if they ever tracked ice time here for players here at these championships, Tanea Sparks, once again out here in a penalty killing role. And with the amount of penalties that the West Hants Warriors took yesterday game against Pictou and also against Halifax, you know, she must be dog tired. But she's definitely a specialty teams, and you know, I'm not sure what her future hockey expectations are, but you know darn well that if she wants to play for Kings Edgehill, that's close to that area. You know, that's Izzy Germain who coaches that program. May want to attend school there and play for that program. Short-handed chance there from a sharp angle, and it goes out the other side. So in terms of out of 10, that's a 0 there for Giswald, but he got on his jets and got back. Judge, a shot, and a piece there by Kroll sends it towards the corner. A 1 and done and down. 55 seconds remaining here in the Manders holding penalty. Shields out there as well as McAmber. McAmber looks up at the clock. Good awareness there by the defenseman there. Leopold out there as well as Davison. The penalty killers, and Kennedy had a chance. Kennedy, of course, drew that penalty. Kroll has lost his stick in the meantime. Back to the point. Halliday, wrist shot. Kroll with the stop and no rebound. And Leopold had the awareness there to try to get the traffic out of the way, that if there was a rebound, it wasn't going to be an easy tap in. Speaking of tap, a tap in the head there from McAmber to Kroll. 26 ticks remaining in the penalty there to Manders. Clean face-off win there by the Ducks. McPhee sends it down low. Now he gets the return pass. Wrist shot, trying to go for the deflection there on the doorstep was Kennedy. A little bit too far out of his reach. Kennedy's locked and loaded, but won't come to him. Well open in front of the net, well, he was. Here's McPhee now, wrist shot there. Once again, trying to go for a deflection. And Kennedy by himself, not really the type of player I want to keep alone. Kennedy scores! There, point proven through the wickets as the penalty expired. It will be an even strength goal, but Kennedy will get it, and it's 4-0 at 6:28. So officially they're 1 for 4. Kennedy was due because he was right there in front of the net for a good majority of time. Wide open. He had wide open space. No but white jersey really within his neighborhood. And then he finally got a chance in the wrist shot through Kroll, and in it's 4-0. Phillips, O'Coin, and Kennedy, the goal scorers. And it's starting to look more and more like the Ducks will clinch first place. Still lots of hockey left to play here at the Halifax Forum on a Saturday afternoon here in beautiful Halifax. Came as a surprise to me this morning when I was coming in. Farmers Market, all kinds of vehicles here, parking really hard to find. But why not go to the Farmers Market and then come to the arena and watch some hockey, eh? It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in Halifax. Sun coming out. Of course, we had some rain yesterday, so had a chance to, really it's kind of weird day yesterday. Some people were talking about as there was some thunder and lightning in the HRM as Kroll makes a stop. So a different day. One day you're having like rain and thunder and lightning, and then the next day it cools off and the possibility of flurries. Welcome to Nova Scotia weather, folks. If you don't like it, blink. Speaking of don't like, the Warriors fans not too happy about seeing this one. How it's resulting. Phillips, Kennedy, O'Coin, 4-0. They've got some work cut out. Yesterday I was talking to Ryan Backman, the head coach of the TASA Ducks, and he said if you can contain William Shields to 3 points, maybe 2 goals and an assist sort of thing, you keep him at 3 points, you stand a good chance right now of winning the hockey game. Right now, he is pointless. And pretty well this game has been a one-sided affair. Not many shots towards Mills. Here's a penalty coming up to the TASA Ducks. It's going to be body contact. And it's going to Rivera. 8:15 the time. This power play is brought to you by Atlantic Acura. Locations across Atlantic Canada. And just like that, Shields will take the draw. Fletcher will man the point as well as McCullough Messam. And the save there by Mills. And haven't really called his name a lot here in this one. But a clean face-off win. Davison out there as well as Porter Kroll. That's the forward line. Fletcher, and as I said, McCullough Messam, the power play unit here for the West Hants Warriors. This time not so lucky to win the draw. But Fletcher will pinch in to keep it alive. Inside the line was hassled there by O'Coin. He's got a goal in this one and has a chance to clear, and does. O'Coin, McPhee, Kennedy, and Prince, the power play killers here for the TASA Ducks, leading by a 4 spot. But here they're forcing the issue. O'Coin looking for a second, and then he takes a push from behind there from big Robert McCullough Messam. Has a little bit of a chit-chat with the official afterwards, but Chase Kroll with that butterfly style pretty well had his body tucked against the post and get some appreciation from Sarah Leopold. Tanea Sparks here going to be on this line here with the other Shields, number 13, Matthew Shields, and Giswald. That's the forward line. There's a heavy collision there as McInburr and Kennedy are a little bit slow to get up. Their feet are tangled. They finally get untangled. In the meantime, puck comes out the center ice area. Shields, as in Matthew Shields. Giswald loses it, hooks up Phillips. Is there a call? Yes, there is. So this will put the kibosh. In the meantime, Kennedy gets his second, scores 5-0, so there won't be an Atlantic Acura power play as Kennedy gets his second. 9:25, it's 5-0. Not at all like what happened at the Buster Harvey tournament. Short-handed goal, so Specialty teams earning their pay here in this one. Ducks have a power play goal. Now they have a shorthanded goal. Phillips got the power play goal in the first. Kennedy, seconds ago, shorthanded. Makes it 5-0. 40 seconds remaining in the Atlantic Acura power play. And said by mistake, of course, there is a man advantage there for the West Hants Warriors, so they'll still be on the Atlantic Acura power play. My apologies, correction. Here's Hood now. Gets it by McPhee and goes in after it. Fuller, there's bodies colliding, and things start to maybe get a little bit chippy. And Fuller feeling that one, and temper starting to flare. We'll see if what they do with Hood. Hood's now going. Hood's done for the game. This should be probably a major penalty, probably for checking from behind, but Hood will be going to the showers. He'll first one in line to get the soap and the towels. 5 minutes it is. So it'll be a 4-on-4 for 23 seconds. And then it'll be an Atlantic Acura power play here for the TASA Ducks. Matthew Shields will serve the penalty. $9:52 the time, and as I said, looking at on paper, this game should be more closer than what I thought it would be, but it has been all Ducks. They have just taken it here to this West Hants team, the Nova Scotia Mainland Hockey League champions. Sent off the glass and down, so it's Atlantic Acura power play for 4:35. .433 remains here in period number 2. Things not going as planned here for Greg Riley and company. Riley now just over there, sort of almost like Victor Tikhonov style, in front of the players, getting confirmation. And so it looks like could be a good possibility for a chunk of this period. A power play here for the Ducks. Already leading by 5, and they have a chance pretty well to really improve their goals for. As the stop there by Mills on a breakaway there by Giswald. Davison to be exact, and Mills has a little bit of a sip and a breather. Tied draw, Ducks come up with it. They hit center ice area. Phillips, Penny, Baldwin, and Prince on the points here. And Burke goes there. That's the power play unit here for the Ducks. Phillips, Burke. Burke kept to the outside. Now he'll leave it there. Baldwin has it. Phillips. Baldwin return pass. Back to Burke again, so they're kept to the outside. Shields watching as well as the assistant captain there for the West Hants Warriors. Baldwin. Passing looking pretty good, but not the shot yet. Nice little stick getting in the way of that one. Is Fletcher, and the shot there from the point, a wrister by Phillips, to stop there by Kroll. Burke spins around, trying to get away from William Shields. Phillips walking the blue line. Burke of a wrist shot, and Fletcher gets away with that one, so he's got 2 block shots in this one, and Shields dives, and have another whistle stopping play. It's a tripping call, and I think this will make it 4-on-4. Hockey now as Manders. Actually, Manders was going for the trip. It was a following the play, so it is now a 2-man advantage here. 2-man advantage now, so things going from bad to worse. McPhee. Halliday. Passing drill. Now they'll get to the outside as Halliday will get it once again. He'll send it into the corner there. Kearney spins away. Gets away from Shearer. McPhee. Rivera. Blue ice. O'Coin scores. O'Coin gets his second of the afternoon. It makes it 5-0. 11:57. Power play goal. And they're still on the Atlantic Acura power plays. There's 2:55 left. Matthew Shields is serving the 5-minute penalty there to Hood. Back in 1980, Kenny Rogers had a movie called Six Pack, and that's what the Ducks lead by, 6-0. Looking for more, trying to make it 7. O'Coin on the backhand, and that's stopped by Kroll. And of course, if you're joining us here for the first time, no backup goaltender here for the West Hants Warriors. It's Chase Kroll's game to win or lose. One goaltender here in the regular season for them. Kennedy's got a couple. O'Coin as well as Phillips, so 3 goal scorers, 6 goals in the game. Phillips with 2, O'Coin and Kennedy also with 2, 6-0. 2:22 remaining here in the Atlantic Acura power play for the TASA Ducks. Sarah Bush thought about it. Great female content here at these Pee-wee Championships. Cross ice there. Now trying to wrap around. Scores. No, it didn't go in. It didn't go in. Kennedy reacted, but Kroll just must have got there just in the nick of time. Also, the net came off its peg, so a little bit quick trigger happy I was. It's 6-0. It remains on the nice wraparound attempt there by O'Brien, but a better save there by Kroll. 1:58 remains here in period number 2. Ducks with the pressure. And another one just like that, 7-0. Rout is on. A power play goal, and the thing is, they could keep on going. 5-minute major. They have to serve the full 5. Now we have some fans throwing some hats out on the ice, and Duck fans are some passionate, aren't they? Hats have been gathered up, so definitely a hat trick goal for sure. Shields a little bit eager. One of his line mates was trapped inside there, so it's offside. They'll bring it outside the line. Let's hear the official announcement. Another one there for Kennedy, so a hat trick goal for him. Sevens are wild now, 7-0. 1:13 remaining here in the period. Penny comes back the other way. Here's Baldwin now along with Penny. And another penalty coming up. And you can see that the linesmen are quick to jump in, and Giswald going off. And another two-man advantage here. It is interference for Giswald. Phillips now, maybe he wants to join the hat trick party, but I don't think there's any hats left there from the Duck fans in attendance here at the Halifax Forum. Rivera, O'Coin, back to Rivera now. Two-man advantage, and they keep playing. O'Coin there, a couple more whacks, and Kroll has it. 46 seconds remaining here in the period. And this game for sure, the timekeepers bench, they may want to go see a physiotherapist and get massage on those shoulders because their riding arm has been busy. Look at the fancy footwork there by Halliday to keep that in. Phillips now walks to the face-off circle. Phillips, and a pad save kick there by Chase Kroll. 30 seconds remaining here in the period. And 20 seconds till a 5-on-4 here. And another stop. Actually, the referee lost sight of the puck as there was a lot of skates and sticks there, and he blows play down. 25 seconds remaining here in this period. 17 seconds remaining in the major penalty there to Hood being served by Matthew Shields. And a minute 20 left in Giswald's interference penalty. Ducks keep trying again. Kennedy, that doesn't get through. Fletcher all over Fuller there, making sure Fuller couldn't get a good shot down low. Kennedy again, cross ice. They set up. O'Brien scores 8-0. That's another power play goal. 14:49. Sometimes you look at analytics, you look at numbers, you look at how the teams have done. And it don't mean a hill of beans right now as it's 8-0. Of course, there's a big graduating team here. 17 players on this Ducks teams. 16 of them will be moving on after the end of their Pee-wee season here, and 8 will be dressing for the Gulls, the back-to-back Nova Scotia Major Bantam Hockey League provincial champions, as the horn goes, and they say mercifully for the West Hants Warriors. They're on the opposite end of an 8-0 game, and the Ducks are 15 minutes away from clinching first place here at the Nova Scotia Pee-wee Provincial Championships. So they're going to flood the ice. We're going to step aside here, and we'll have third period coverage in about 15 minutes here on 360 Live's continuing coverage of the 2019 Nova Scotia Pee-wee Provincial Hockey Championships. West Hants Warriors are coming back to the ice surface here at the Halifax Forum, and 15 minutes away are the Ducks from a first place in the round robin portion of their championships. Referee at center ice, Giswald and Kennedy. Battle of 19s, third period underway here at the Halifax Forum. My name is Dan Hobson. This is 360 Live, continuing coverage of the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships. And as you see by the score in the corner, 8-0. It has all been the Ducks. And Mills has really not had a lot of touches here this one. That's the starting goaltender for the Ducks. If you're just joining us, Fletcher. Giswald can't handle that hot pass. And Fletcher will settle it down here and go back into his own zone. So 8-0 is the score. They've yet to put that other goal up on the scoreboard here, but it is, of course, a drain here on the timekeeper. So sometimes, things get a little bit tiring and you may miss something, but I have it as 8 because the goal scorers are Phillips, O'Coin, Kennedy, O'Coin, Kennedy, and O'Brien. And we have a stoppage in play. Body contact. Giswald. For West Hants called for the body contact. Minute 5 here into the third period. Another Atlantic Acura power play. Getting to sound like a broken record as we take a look at the TASA Duck fans here. A big fan base here at the Halifax Forum, and they were very vocal, Well, they are local, yes, but vocal at the start. They sort of simmered down, but when you take a look at the scoreboard in the corner of your screen right now, that's pretty well the reason why. Up by 8. And they're looking for more. Looking for goals in all the right places. Here at the Halifax Forums, that rolls on to Mills. And shorthanded opportunity, really not much of a strong scoring chance. Ducks will make changes as well as the West Hants Warriors. You're in that situation right now where this is going to be really tough the rest of the way for not only the teams, the officials. There's O'Coin going for the top shelf and missed wide. Minute 13 remaining in the penalty here to Giswald. Leopold tried to send it down, then blows a tire, so there's a little bit of room here for Prince, and here he comes. Drops it back to O'Coin. Prince will send it back. Here's Rivera. Now he'll put it past the Prince and Rivera would like to switch spots. Will they finally this time? Rivera now will drop pass once again to Prince here. 45 seconds remaining in the penalty here to Giswald. Off for body contact. Sharp angle shot and getting a piece of his crawl and also ticked the goalpost. Just tickled a little bit. And an open net there by Carney. He puts it in and makes it 9-0. On the power play, 2 minutes and 39 seconds here in the third period. Now we have Mackerber going back into the, this is Mackerber going back into the box. So it must have been something after the goal there. Williams shields a shot and Mills with the save. And another one there by Kennedy. And here we go. Double digits here for goals here for the Ducks. 2:59, 10-0. nothing at all like the Buster Harvey tournament when they met. As you see, there it is, the Big Ten spot on the scoreboard here at the Halifax Forum, and it's also in the corner of your screen. 15-goal effort against the Steelers yesterday. Early morning game. Their first game today, they've got 10. Now you got to be careful, as I said. As I was talking about before that goal, it's really going to be tough here for officials as well as both teams. I'll address the TASA duck issue here first, is that all of a sudden they may take their foot off the pedal here and they may start getting a little bit lazy, but that's not happening. You see that they keep going. They don't let the score dictate their play. As for the West Hants Warriors, they've got to make sure that they got to be careful and make sure that they really stay away from shenanigans after the whistle sort of thing and try to stay away from any possible suspensions. They're in the playoff round, that's for sure, but you want to have all your guns coming to a gunfight. You want to make sure you have all of them. Maybe not the politically correct term to be using, but you want to have all your weapons at your disposal. There's a steal by O'Coin, and O'Coin will put that in and make it 11-0. Four minutes and 27 seconds. That's what the West Hants Warriors got to do, is make sure they still keep their nose clean. You know you'll be moving on to the playoff round. It's just a matter of whether you may face this team tomorrow morning. It's 1 versus 4 at 8:30, 10:30. It is the second semifinal. Third versus second, and the championship game at 2:30. So I'm sure that's probably, they're thinking of the long-term goal here in this one as Kearney goes down. So the Ducks know they'll be in first place, but who will their opposition be tomorrow morning? Could possibly be these West Hants Warriors, so it may be a different story tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see, but I talked about earlier, looking on paper, this shouldn't have been in as much of a blowout, but that is what has happened here at the Halifax Forum. Phillips now. That hits a shin guard. So we're even strength, but it looks like a power play, but that's not the case. It has been a one-sided effort here for the Ducks. They have been in control pretty well since puck drop, and Mills has been, well, pretty well much had the best seat in the house there. Playing goal, has maybe made about 6 or 7 saves, not a lot of shots on goal for him. They don't keep track of that stat at the Pee-wee level, and that's pretty good because I would really be interested to see what the shots on goal would be. I imagine it's definitely one-sided, just like the game. And it's, you know, kind of demoralizing to look up and it's like, well, we've only got, you know, single digits in shots and the other team is getting very close probably to the 40 to 50 mark. So we come up to the 6-minute mark here in the third period. And it is all Ducks, as you see. One more game left in the round-robin portion, and right now the Bedford Blues are probably sort of liking this result. Well, they have mixed emotions with this result because, first of all, they were still maybe hoping of having a possibility of first place. Well, that will go down by the wayside as the Blues will take on Sydney. Sydney just finishing out the round-robin portion. They came in today last place, 7th out of the 7 teams here at the championships as this rolls down to Kroll, and he'll make that stop. They'll keep continuing playing hard, both of these teams here, as we have an icing call with 8:10 remaining here in this third period. And as I said, like getting things, Blues came in second place there. Their goals against was 5, so right now the Ducks still at goals against of 3, so the win automatically with points they get there. So the Blues are now basically playing here for second place. And this is not going to help West Hants. This will move Glace Bay definitely up to third place for sure, pending the result of the Bedford-Sydney game. So now we look into, once again, Sydney has to, the Bedford Blues win, and they will get second place. And Glace Bay all of a sudden looking pretty good for third place, and West Hants fourth. So the smoke is starting to clear here at the Halifax Forum, and teams are starting to come away from each other. And the thing is that I'm sure that the coaching staff here are going to take some mental notes on this one. This is a potential possibility of a playoff matchup tomorrow morning. So hopefully cooler heads will prevail here and no extra roughness coming up after the whistle. There's another chance there by Kennedy. It's stopped by Kroll. Kroll loses the stick. His players trying to tap it back to him. Ducks continuing to keep it going here. Giswold up the pokes it in there. And there's a slash there, but Giswold will come up with the puck. Giswold, can he get the wrap around? No, he can't. He'll set up Shearer, and she doesn't get much on the shot as it goes in towards the corner, but nice work there by Giswold, looking for a loose puck and put on his hard hat and came up with it. Now it's dumped in, and Giswold knocks down Kennedy. Kennedy looks up and not really happy with the way things are going, and play is stopped. You find at the late stages here that the refs and linesmen are going to have to really get in on things. 6:51 remains here in the period. Two o'clock, we have the skills competition brought to you by RCS Construction. Kroll has to make another save. Porter Kroll can't get that out there for the West Hants Warriors, and sent back in there by Halliday. Another chance for Burke. Burke with a second chance and can't pull the trigger on that one. And the West Hants Warriors now, just maybe the main goal is to probably try to get some offense going and try to get something past Mills. Shields with the shot, and the whistle stops play. Offside, brings it back outside the line. Third period brought to you by Cushman Wakefield. .6:23 remaining here in a very quiet Halifax Forum. It had lots of noise at the start, but that has sort of died down. And everybody knows why. And you can see why in the corner of your screen at home. McCullough Messam now. Kroll tried to hit Shields once again. Shields has been battling a little bit of the flu, so when you talk about the wrong place, wrong time to be coming up with an illness, it's now. McCullough Messam with a one-handed swing towards Rivera as he was going down. Rivera backhands it. McCullough Messam with a light bump, and the Ducks go for a change here. And you can see that the West Hants Warriors trying to get the Ducks off their game, and they continue just to play on and are staying away from the shenanigans. They know what's up for grabs, and they know that anything that could cost them, of course, making them not play in that playoff game tomorrow. As that gets by Judge, Nathan Judge, the defenseman will go back in and will chip it in there for the Ducks. West Hants Warriors. Fletcher there tries to spin away there from Baldwin. Here's Penny now. Baldwin looking for it as a bouncing puck goes up in the air in behind the goal. Davison trying to settle it down and can't. Now he'll go after and kick it to a stick and go the other side with it. Runs into the big black jersey by the name of number 2, Penny. And now the puck is out just inside the blue line, and here they come the other way. Shields now pass there, a little bit too far the reach there of Porter Kroll. He'll go in after it. Duck player goes down. And in the meantime, Judge comes up with it, tries to go off the boards here. Quickly up to O'Brien, Baldwin, and Burke. quick line change, and Giswald was trying to get going. Gives a little bit of a two-handed whack there to Halliday. He just ignores as O'Brien goes on. O'Brien driving shot, and wide of the net is that one. 4:10 remains here. The final period here of our game of the day, the second one. It had main event status written all over, but it has not lived up to that promise. 11th spot put on the board here by Kennedy and the rest of the Ducks. He's got a couple. Here's Fuller, wrist shot. Didn't miss by much. The lively boards almost came out. Kennedy once again and Macabre. A little bit of exchange afterwards, and hoping maybe we have a clean finish here. When I say by a clean finish, no extra shenanigans after the whistle, but I'm not sure if that's going to come to fruition, but we'll have to wait and see as O'Brien hits the puck in the center ice area. Drop pass, Kennedy, wrist shot, wide. McPhee now holding the blue line there for the Ducks. Kennedy has to get out of the way there of McCullough Messam. Kennedy goes down once again, back into the corner. O'Coin has it, trying to centering there, and Kroll actually prevents that pass from coming out front. Good heads-up play there by the goaltender. McPhee, wrist shot, stopped there. O'Coin there, and pushing him out of the way is Fletcher there for the West Hants Warriors. .258 remaining here in this third period. Fans start to make their way in here to the Halifax Forum for the skills competition at 2 o'clock. Fletcher now has the puck. And he'll go cross ice over to McCullough Messam. And really the only thing that's up for grabs is, and I don't want to give a jinx, is the you-know-what, folks. That's the only thing that needs to be determined right now. As we have another whistle stop and play, another icing call, so teams will make changes here with 2:21 remaining. Organizers of the tournament just outside the hallways here, the Halifax Forum, doing some last-minute adjustments, talking it over as Shields had a chance there. He has been held pointless, and that has to be a story here in this one. Puck in the corner. 2 minutes remaining here in the third period. Shields now. Oh, he couldn't pull the trigger. And nice defensive play by Judge, but you can see now quickly linesman jumping in, making sure nothing really happens here. These players will be playing in the playoff round tomorrow. And I'm sure that the coaches as well want to keep it that way, that there won't be any suspensions or anything like that. We're getting into late stages here where you definitely want to prevent that from happening, and that's sent down the ice. No icing. Play will continue on. And we're coming up to 100 seconds remaining here in this third period and in the game. Sparks trying to center it as Rousel was going towards the net. It hit the back of the net. Players trying to whack it off and can't, so they'll have a stoppage and play. 81 ticks left in this one. Fans are reminded that joining us after this game has wrapped up, we will have the Dexter Construction Player of the Game. And for the Ducks, they have lots to choose from here in this one. Rivera will send it in and go in and chase after it there. Leopold there was hoping to be the first one back, but the Ducks quickly on it. And they'll keep it down in the corner. And you'll hear the longtime public address announcer of the Halifax Max make the announcement that there's 1 minute remaining. Or not. Set him up, and he let me down. So there's less than a minute remaining here in the third period. Well, it's better to be, showing up late than not at all, as that is the under a minute to play announcement here at the Halifax Forum in the third period. And Ducks will go to first place. And it looks like West Hants will drop to fourth, so they will meet again. And you're going to know there's probably going to be a little bit of carryover here in this one. So Bedford gets the win here against Sydney. They'll get second place. Glace Bay will jump to third here as a result of this loss as the fans start to make noise here. Puck in the corner, and you can see the referees really jumping in here, making sure nothing happens. Horn goes. Mills will get the shutout. And there is a little bit of something going on, and West Hants Warriors skate away as well as the Ducks. So the Ducks will finish in first place, as I mentioned. West Hants Warriors will, as I said, go to fourth. But they may not stay there, but of course if Bedford Blues win, they will stay there. Glace Bay will get third. Glace Bay earlier defeated Pictou, so the best they could finish is that. So 4 o'clock will be Sydney versus Bedford. Sydney has a chance to play a little bit of a spoiler role. Team shaking hands. And we'll go down to the ice level here for the Dexter Construction Player of the Game presentation. Learning experience here for the West Hants Warriors, and that may be their opposition tomorrow morning. Ryan Fletcher, player of the game for the West Hants Warriors. Michael O'Brien, the player of the game. Ducks will skate off. We'll have the skills competition coming up at 2 o'clock, so we look forward to talking to you then. For the entire 360 Live crew, Dan Hobson saying so long from the Halifax Forum.